Hi everyone, I'm Amethyst and welcome to Ask an Autistic.
I want a renaissance to shine a light, be the change we want, set things right. We've been waiting in the dark for so long.
Scripting is a topic that has been requested by quite a few people and I'm excited to tackle it today. But firstly, to clear up any confusion, I'm going to be addressing two similar but different behaviors today, and I've heard both of them referred to as scripting. So I'll be giving an overview of these two kinds of scripting. The first kind is what I refer to as echolalial scripting, and the second is what I refer to as social scripting. So two distinct autistic behaviors, but I've heard the same word used to describe both of them. Echolalial scripting is well known amongst the parents of autistic children, and it is sometimes referred to as TV talk. Echolalial scripting is similar to simple echolalia, but echolalia is usually the repetition of single words or phrases, whereas echolalial scripting is more like the recitation of longer passages of dialogue from books or movies or audio media or whatever. Echolalial scripting, I think, is very misunderstood. A lot of neurotypical parents don't like it because it is, again, like stimming, one of those obviously autistic behaviors. I also feel like it's misunderstood in that a lot of neurotypical people believe that when autistic children or adults are engaging in echolalial scripting, they're not engaged socially and they're in their own little world. For myself and for the autistic children and people that I've known, that's not really the case. In fact, echolalial scripting, while it is often used for enjoyment, like stimming, just because it's fun, it can also be a method of expression and of social, if not interaction, then at least engagement. I am here and I am present with you. For example, an autistic child who's sitting at the dinner table with their family, and the family is talking about what happened during their days and their opinions on this TV show or this movie or whatever. And if the autistic child keeps interjecting with scripting, echolalial scripting, say lines from a movie or a book, the family might get annoyed or think that that child is not paying attention. But the child is actually engaging with you right now. While echolalial scripting is fun and enjoyable for autistic people, I myself particularly enjoy reciting the dialogue from Lilo and Stitch when I'm in a good mood. It can also be used as a method of expression, but this method of expression or even communication is often overlooked or misunderstood by neurotypical people. I have found that, especially in emotionally charged situations, I find myself repeating dialogue or quotations from a book or a movie that I feel is somehow applicable to me, to my needs or wants in that moment. And while in that moment I'm unable to direct my thoughts into my own words, so to speak, I am able to express via familiar and comforting lines of dialogue from movies or books. And I think later that I was communicating, when I was close to meltdown or when I was very frustrated, what I kept repeating, whatever line or quotation was applicable, just maybe not in a very linear way. So I think that if you start to think of it as not only something enjoyable like stimming, but also as a potential form of communication and expression, then you can start to watch. In what situations does my daughter do that script, or in what situations does my son use echolalial scripting more, and maybe this certain phrase means that he's happy and excited. And so I guess what I want to say is, while echolalial scripting is often just for enjoyment because it's fun, it feels good, autistic children will have their favorite scripts that they go through over and over, and that's fine and it's great and it's actually good for them in their development. But echolalial scripting also has the possibility to be a method of expression and even a way to make needs met, even if this form of expression and communication isn't at first easily decipherable or very normal. The second kind of scripting I refer to as social scripting. And I feel like this is more applicable to autistic teenagers and adults, but autistic children will start to use scripts from a very, very young age. For myself, it's how I learned how to verbally communicate. I would speak using phrases and quotations from Disney movies and eventually graduating into longer and longer scripts. Then, when I was about 3 or 4, I started to have needs beyond what I could make met with echolalial scripting from Disney movies. And so I started to kind of piece together what I heard in movies, conversational dialogue, and what people were saying around me. And through this cutting and pasting, I graduated into speaking with what neurotypical people like to call my own words. Now, I've heard social scripting referred to as insincere and even rude. And I want to make it clear that autistic people, we don't use social scripts because we don't like you. If we greet you the same way every morning, it's because that is how it's easiest for us to communicate. We could expend tons of brain energy every morning coming up with a new way to say hello, or we could stick to our social scripts that we have memorized and that we feel comfortable with. The fact that we are communicating with you at all, making an effort to verbally communicate and to socialize, is something I feel shouldn't be overlooked. Neurotypical people use social scripting. You know, somebody passes you in the hallway at church or on the street, they say, "How are you doing?" You say, "I'm fine, thanks, how are you?" These are ingrained phrases and words that neurotypical people just automatically say. You know, it's kind of the socially acceptable response. For autistic people, it's not automatic. But these social scripts are helpful for us because if we know what to expect, we can feel confident and secure that we can go through our bank of memorized social scripts and we can know what we're going to say next. I feel like parents also get too hung up on trying to teach their child to speak in their own words and not to be dependent on social scripts. Many autistic people, when they are finally comfortable with someone, which can honestly take months or years, they will start to express themselves in the way that is natural to them. And that could be everything from nonverbal communication like stimming, or it could be using echolalial scripting to enjoy a shared experience together, or it can be just their own words, so to speak. But chances are that autistic people's own words won't sound like what neurotypical people's own words are. The fact is that autistic brains are different, and so you have to decide. As a parent, do you want your autistic child to say socially acceptable things, or do you want them to express themselves? Because chances are, if an autistic child gets to choose how they express themselves, they may greet people with facts about blue whales, or they may answer, "What's your name?" with a happy humming sound and then hand flapping away. Or they can have a memorized bank of social scripts that they can use so that when they're asked, "What is your name?" they respond with their name and then, "What's your name?" Of course, this isn't black and white, either or. I have times when I will just be myself and I will express myself however I feel is natural and good to me. And yes, that involves a lot of echolalial scripting. There are times when I'm in public or with people I don't know when I will use social scripting. And then there's times when I'll use a mix of both. For these videos, I use social scripting and I use my method of cutting and pasting together words and phrases that I've heard or read and memorized to make my own sentences. But if you're expecting your autistic child to one day suddenly grow out of their neurotype and be able to spontaneously and easily converse with any member of the human race they happen to encounter, that probably isn't going to happen. Social scripts are very important to autistic people to help us feel comfortable, confident, and secure enough to even socialize at all. So taking those away really leaves us floundering. And echolalial scripting is wonderful and it's fun, and it's an important part of an autistic child's development. So I would say, please do not discourage social scripting. Please do not discourage echolalial scripting. Yeah, you might find it a little annoying, the same repeated words or phrases or lines of dialogue, but you're a parent, and what kid isn't annoying sometimes? And know that if your child is sitting with you and they are echolalial scripting, whether or not they allow you to join in or whether or not they're outwardly interacting with you, they are verbally expressing themselves, and this could be a way for them to share something that they really love and enjoy with you. I know that that was the case for me when I was a kid. This video was just a brief overview of the two kinds of scripting, echolalial scripting and social scripting. I will be doing videos in the future that go more in depth on each of the kinds of scripting. So a video for echolalial scripting and a video for social scripting. If you have a topic that you would like for me to discuss, or if you have a question that you would like answered via video, feel free to post your question in the comment section below or message it to me. And if you like this video, feel free to use thumbs up and subscribe for more Ask an Autistic. Thank you for watching.
I want a renaissance to shine a light, be the change we want, set things right. We've been waiting in the dark for so long.